All right, let's dive right into this explainer and unravel what is, honestly, one of the greatest mysteries of human survival. I mean, think about it for a second. We spend a full third of our lives completely unconscious, just lying on the ground, totally oblivious to our surroundings. Out in the wild, yeah, that usually means your breakfast. But somehow we manage to survive the night, night after night, for hundreds of thousands of years. So today, we're going to break down exactly how our ancestors pulled off this incredible evolutionary magic trick.
It's basically the ultimate whodunit of the natural world. Or, well, I guess more of a why didn't they do it? Put yourself in the shoes of an ancient human. You don't have a thick, armor-like hide, you don't have venom, no protective shell, nothing. So when you close your eyes and drift off in the middle of the wilderness, you are literally offering yourself up on a silver platter to the entire ecosystem. And yet, the fossil record and historical data show that we were very rarely hunted in our sleep by those massive, terrifying predators roaming the night. It's a huge biological puzzle. Why on earth did they pass up such an insanely easy meal?
Just look at this completely bewildered wolf staring at our soft, oblivious ancestor. It perfectly captures the sheer bafflement of the whole animal kingdom. You've got this wolf standing there, fully equipped for a deadly nighttime hunt, just staring at a sleeping human exposed right under a blanket. Common sense says the wolf should attack, right? I mean, it's free calories. But instead, it's hesitating. It is completely baffled by this bizarre scene. To understand why that wolf is second-guessing its own hardwired instincts, we have to look at the massive mismatch between us and them.
It really comes down to the stark contrast between our physical stats and theirs. On one side of the ledger, you've got human vulnerability. We're talking furless skin, incredibly deep sleep cycles, absolutely terrible night vision, and let's face it, completely blunt teeth and nails. Now, on the other side, you have a nocturnal predator's lethality. Razor-sharp claws, bone-crushing bite force, silent stealth, and eyes practically superpowered to see in pitch black. On paper, this isn't even a contest. The predator should win every single time. But as we know, biology isn't just about physical stats. It's about strategy, your environment, and adapting to overcome those glaring weaknesses. Which brings us to our first major survival strategy, the power of fire. Mastering the campfire was a total game changer. It instantly shifted the dynamic of the prehistoric night. First off, it provided critical warmth, which actually allowed us to survive in harsher climates where some predators wouldn't even dare to venture. But more importantly, it pushed back the darkness. Think about it. Nocturnal hunters rely on stealth, right? They need those shadows to ambush. Well, a roaring fire completely strips them of that advantage. It lights up the whole camp and basically blinds their super-sensitive night vision. Plus, to a wild animal, fire is just this unnatural, terrifying monster. It smells like danger, it moves unpredictably, and it burns. So by harnessing fire, sleeping humans effectively built an impenetrable wall of light and heat right around their vulnerable bodies.
Now let's look at the next piece of the puzzle, social dynamics and tribes.
I mean, just look at the sheer audacity of our ancestors in these snapshots. You've got humans rallying together, aggressively waving torches to chase away an entire pack of wolves. And down there in the corner, there's actually someone boldly reaching out to pet a giant confused bear. It's crazy. Our behavior was completely alien to the natural order. We just didn't act like normal animals. We gathered in these large, noisy groups around fires, we experimented, shared resources, and operated as this deeply connected unit. That kind of group behavior created a massive aura of danger and unpredictability. It basically short-circuited a predator's normal hunting logic.
You see, sleeping in tribes meant there were always eyes watching. We didn't all just clock out and go to sleep at the exact same time. We used shared defensive watches. If a saber-toothed cat or a direwolf tried to creep up to the edge of the firelight, someone was usually awake to sound the alarm. And here's the kicker. When that alarm sounded, we didn't scatter and run like a herd of startled deer. No way. We woke up, grabbed burning sticks, started yelling, and formed this intimidating, coordinated defensive line. In seconds, we transformed from a group of soft, sleeping individuals into a wildly formidable, unpredictable pack. And remember, predators are incredibly risk-averse. Out in the wild, even a minor injury can be a death sentence. So taking on a screaming mob of humans wielding actual fire, that was just a terrible risk-to-reward calculation for any animal.
Moving on to our third major factor, let's explore the psychological fear factor.
Okay, so this actually scientifically explains that confused wolf we saw earlier? Over millennia, animals developed what's known as a predator avoidance instinct, especially when it came to us. Think about how we look to them. We stand upright on two legs, which makes us look unnaturally tall and just weird. We cover ourselves in the skins of other animals. We smell incredibly strange, like this confusing mix of sweat, smoke, and whatever we happen to be cooking. Plus, we throw objects from a distance. That extends our strike zone way beyond what any normal predator can comprehend. All of these bizarre traits essentially trigger a massive, overwhelming do not engage alarm in an animal's brain. To them, we are the ultimate uncanny valley. We might look like easy prey, but every single one of their evolutionary alarm bells is screaming at them to just stay away.
Ultimately, it boils down to this. We simply don't act like prey. A predator's brain is hardwired by millions of years of evolution to follow a very specific script. It goes like this. If I stalk it, it should run. If it runs, I chase it. And if I catch it, I eat it. But humans? We completely break that script. When confronted in the dark, instead of fleeing and triggering that innate chase instinct, we stand our ground. We group up together. We start making loud, rhythmic noises. We literally throw fire. Because we refuse to scatter or run like typical prey, the predators hesitate. They get totally confused by this broken script. In that moment, their risk assessment instinct completely overrides their hunger, and they choose to just walk away and find a normal meal instead.
And that brings us to our final section, the modern apex predator.
This right here is our triumphant timeline, and it perfectly summarizes everything we've looked at in this explainer. We started out as arguably the most physically disadvantaged sleepers in the entire animal kingdom. But by combining the physical power of fire, the social strength of the tribe, and the sheer psychological intimidation of simply being way too weird to mess with, we completely flipped the script. We turned our greatest moments of weakness into a massive testament to our ingenuity. And eventually, we rose to become the unquestioned apex predators of the planet. We didn't need to grow bigger claws or sharper teeth, we grew bigger brains, and we built better shields.
So the ultimate takeaway from this whole journey is to really appreciate your own incredible evolutionary history. Seriously, the next time you fall asleep under the stars, whether you're in a tent or just bundled up in a sleeping bag next to a dying campfire, take a moment to realize you aren't just lying there vulnerable in the dirt. You are resting behind hundreds of thousands of years of invisible evolutionary shields. You're protected by the ghosts of ancestors who boldly stared into the dark, held up a torch, and taught the monsters of the night to be afraid of us. I mean, will you ever look at a campfire the exact same way again?